So good morning to each and everyone. We are the Group 4 reporting to you the stages of moral development. Now before we start with the main topic, by the way, I am Sitihaya Roshnifa A. Sangkupan, the first reporter for this group. Now let me give you a brief biographical introduction about Lawrence Kohlberg. Now Lawrence Kohlberg's academic journey began in Brownville, New York, and which continued at Andover Academy in Massachusetts. Instead of immediately pursuing college, he instead aided at the Israeli cause, which he also became the second engineer on a freighter carrying refugees from Europe to Israel. Now, his exceptional intellect led him to the University of Chicago, where he completed his bachelor's degree in just 1 year. Wow. Initially drawn to clinical psychology, Kohlberg shifted his focus to moral development after being inspired by Jean Piaget's work, which basically more on moral judgment. Now, Kohlberg's doctoral dissertation in 1958 introduced his stage theory of moral development, which was also inspired by Piaget's work, or which it expanded upon Piaget's ideas. Now, throughout his career, Kohlberg taught at the University of Chicago and later at Harvard University. Now, described as informal yet, deeply scholarly, he emphasized the wisdom of historical psychologists like Rousseau and Dewey. Now, Kohlberg's contribution to psychology and philosophy, it particularly his exploration of moral development, have had a profound impact. His stage theory continues to shape our understanding of human morality, influencing generation of scholars and even practitioners. Now let's proceed with the Piaget stages of moral judgment. Now, Piaget studied many aspects of moral judgment, but most of his findings fit into a two-stage theory. So when we say two-stage theory, it means it can be categorized into two main stages. Now, children younger than 10 or 11 years think about moral dilemmas one way. Older children consider them differently. Now, as we have seen, younger children regard rules as fixed and absolute. They believe that rules are handed down by adults or by God and that one cannot change them. The older child's view is more relativistic. Younger children base their moral judgment more on consequences, whereas older children base their judgment on intentions. So talking about the Piaget stages of moral judgment, like basing on the children younger 10 or 11 years old, so they mainly focus on the consequences they would receive if nalabag nila yung rules na binigay ng, let's say, mas nakakatanda sa kanila. So while the older children one, instead of thinking about the consequences, they would think mostly on the intention kung ba't niya yun ginawa. There are many more details to Piaget's work in moral judgment, but he essentially found a series of changes that occur between the ages of 10 and 12, just when the child begins to enter the general stage of formal operations. Intellectual development, however, does not stop at this point. This is just the beginning of formal operations, which continue to develop at least until age 16. Kohlberg therefore interviewed both children and adolescents about moral dilemmas, and he did find stages that go well beyond Piaget's. He uncovered 6 stages, only the first 3 of which share many features with Piaget's stages.
So, Assalamualaikum, and it was a day to all of us. I'm Rehan Ibrahim, and today we're going to have our discussion about the Kohlberg's 6 stages. So, to make it more understandable for us, to make it more easy for us to understand our discussion, let's have a situational example. Okay, example is so we have the following students. So, we have si Hamdan and si Almayra. So, nag-away po silang dalawa. Nag-away sila, and then itong isa sa kanila, which is si Esbriza, parang ayaw niya mag-isa-usa. Ayaw niya mag-isama dito sa away nitong dalawa. Bagay kasi natatakot po siya. In short, ayaw niya ng punishment. So, doon po papasok si obedience and punishment orientation, which is like stage 1. So, ito po si stage 1. And we also have the stage 2, we have the individualism and exchange. So, dito naman po sa individualism and exchange, example is another Marika. So, habang nag-away itong dalawa, itong si Marika, mapapaisip siya. Ano kaya? Tutulungan ko sila? Or hindi? Ano kaya? Tutulungan ko si Almira? Or hindi? Kasi possible na one day, kailangan ko rin niya. So, if tutulungan ko siya today, possible, kapag ako naman yung may kaaway, tutulungan din ako. So, parang benefits pa. So, doon naman papasok yung individualism and exchange, which is the stage 2. Okay? So, we also have the level 2 conventional morality, which include the stage 3, good interpersonal relationship, which is the good behavior according sa majority. Example, another student naman ito. So, we have si Maria. Okay. Nakita niya, nag-away itong dalawa. So, majority is parang wala silang pakialam. So, parang, sige lang, mag-away na kayo. So, dito sa stage 3, sa good interpersonal relationship, ayaw makisama ni Maria sa gulo. It is because majority is walang pakialam. Parang nakatingin sila. So, that is under good interpersonal relationships. So, we also have the stage 4, the maintaining the social order. Halata, dito na darating yung principal. So, we have, andito si principal. Si principal, sasabihin niya, stop kayo. Bawal yan, hindi yan pwede sa school. Huwag kayong mag-away dito sa school. Doon na mapasok yung stage 4, which is the maintaining the social order. Para walang gulo. Dapat na-stop kayo kasi hindi yan pwede dito sa institution po natin. So, that is the stage 4. We also have the level 3. Level 3, we have the post-conventional morality, which include the stage 5, the social contract and individual rights. Now, it is prior to society. Even though nasa law na yan, pero what would be the result of that kind of act? Now, even though we have these kinds of rules that we're going to follow, but in this stage, we are actually considering the rights of the individual. We also have the last one, the universal principles. Universal principles from its word universal. It is universally accepted by many people. So that's actually the 6 stages of the Kohlberg's theory. And I think that's very understandable, and that's all. And again, I'm going to extract Arangada from Group 4. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day everyone. So ngayon, itutuloy po natin yung diniscuss ng mga kasama ko. So, ang part ko is i-discuss sa inyo yung stage concept, which is, before that, let's have a short recap about 6 stages of moral development. So by the way, yung stage concept, ito yung ginawang basis ni Kohlberg's para buuin or mabuo yung stages ng moral development. Okay? So kanina na-discuss ng mga kasama ko yung 6 stages of moral development. So, yung 6 stages moral development is na-divided into 3 level. Level 1, Level 2, and Level 3. Level 1, per conventional morality, is merong dalawang stages, which is Stage 1 and Stage 2. So, ilagay natin siya sa scenario. For example, may binubuli na bata. So, sa Stage 1, hindi siya makikisali doon kasi iniisip niya na kapag nakisali siya doon is mapapunishmentan siya. While sa Stage 2 naman, makikisali siya. Bakit? Kasi iniisip niya na one day, ako na naman yung ibubuli, then yung binubuli is tutulungan niya ako. So, in favor sa akin yun. Yun yung sa mindset ng Stage 2. Then, we have also Level 2, which is conventional morality. So, in scenario, for example, yung binubuli. Ako na nanonood, na teenager, for example, tapos yung nakapalibot sa kanya is nanonood rin, so hindi ako makikisali. Kasi iniisip ko is yung sasabihin ng ibang tao sa akin. For example, good girl ako kasi hindi ako nakisali doon. Ganon yung mindset sa Stage 3. While sa Stage 4, makikisali ako kasi labag yun sa rules. Mas iisipin ko na ito, bawal to. Kasi kasali to sa rules. So, kung iisipin natin, magkaparehas, medyo konektado yung Stage 1 and Stage 4. Okay? So, sa level 3 naman, which is post-conventional morality is merong two stages, which is stage 5 and stage 6. So, ang scenario doon is, for example, sa stage 5, itong binubuli, pinapanood ko sila. So, kapag hindi ako makikasali doon, so, dalawa lang yung iniisip ko doon. Yun yung mindset sa stage 5, ha? Dalawa yung iniisip ko doon. For example, ito bawal to. Bawal tong ginagawa nila kasi labag to sa rules ng school. But, iniisip ko na I deserve niyang mabuli kasi kahapon may binuli siya na girl. So, parang iniisip ko din doon yung individual rights. So, yun yung sa stage 5. While sa stage 6 naman, iniisip ko doon is lahat yung individual rights. Like, bawat isa is may karapatan. So, yun yung iniisip mo sa stage 6. I mean, yun yung mindset mo sa stage 6 na kailangan yung bawat isa, pakinggan natin yung rights nila. Okay? Ngayon, proceed po tayo sa stage concept. So, again guys, stage concept, ito yung criteria na pinagbasa ni Kohlberg para mabuo yung 6 stages of moral development. So, meron po tayong 5 criteria dito. Una is yung qualitative differences. It seems fairly clear that Kohlberg's stages are qualitatively different from one another. So, meaning, ang bawat stages or lahat ng stages is magkakaiba. So, kanina nga na-discuss ko sa inyo kung ano yung pinapahiwatig ng stage 1, yung stage 2, and so on and so forth. So, doon pa lang makikita natin na si Kohlberg is ginawa niyang unique ang bawat stages. Kumbaga, kakaiba yung bawat stages. Okay? Number 2, structured host. By structured host, Kohlberg's means that the stages are not just isolated responses, but are general patterns of thought that will consistently show up across many different kinds of issues. So, sabi dito, yung stages daw is hindi siya nakafocus sa iisang responses, but instead general pattern. Or let's say, hindi siya isolated, sabi nga dito. So, for example, yung isang issue, iba yung response ng 1, yung stage 1, iba yung response sa stage 2, and nagbigay din sila dito ng example. One item asks, why should the promise be kept? So, as on the Haynes dilemma, yung children sa stage 1, nag-base siya sa obedience to rules. Yung sinabi ko kanina na sa stage 1 is more on focus sila sa obedience and punishment. Where sa stage 2 naman, or yung children sa stage 2 is focus on exchanging favors that are in one's self-interest. Sa self-interest pa rin sila nakafocus. Okay? So, yun yung sa number 2. Then number 3, invariant sequence. Kohlberg believed that his stages unfold in an invariant sequence. So, sabi dito, yung stages niya is sequence in order, kumbaga. Like, sunod-sunod yon. At ikaw naman, na bata, dadaan ka from 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, in order. Sabi din dito na bawal, kumbaga, for example, ikaw, dadaan ka sa stage 1, then dalaktawan mo yung 2 and 3. Magiging stage 4 ka na agad. Hindi yun pwede. Kasi sabi daw dito is in order. Kumbaga, dadaan ka muna sa stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. And according din dito, sa reference natin, sabi ni Kohlberg is, yung stages is pwedeng, yung bata is pwedeng hindi niya ma-reach yung pinaka-higher na stages. Like, may possible na hanggang stage 4 lang siya, stage 3. So, possible na hindi niya talaga ma-reach yung pinaka-higher na stage. Number 4, hierarchic integration. When Kohlberg says that his stages are hierarchic integrated, he means that people do not lose the insight gained at earlier stages, but integrate them into new, broader frameworks. So, sabi dito, hindi mo daw makakalimutan yung mga previous or nadaanan mong stages. For example, nasa stage 4 ka ngayon, hindi mo makakalimutan yung sa stage 3 mo, stage 2, and stage 1. For example natin sa scenario, yung stealing, pag nanakaw. So, kung nasa stage 4 ka na, yung stealing is maiintindihan mo, ma-understand mo yung arguments mo sa stage 3, stage 2, and stage 1. But, mas na wider lang, mas na broad yung pag-iisip mo na kapag nagnakaw ako, mape-penaltyhan ako. Or let's say, makukulong ako. Okay? So, yun yung sa stage 4. Proceed po tayo sa number 5, which is universal sequence. Ito yung last. Kohlberg, like all stage theories, maintain that his stage sequence is universal. It is the same in all cultures. At first glance, this proposal might be surprising. Don't different cultures socialize their children differently, teaching them very different moral beliefs? So sabi po dito, yung stages na ginawa ni Kohlberg is pang-universal, pang-kalahatan. Even though magkakaiba po tayo ng cultures, magkakaiba po tayo ng beliefs, or let's say magkakaiba rin tayo kung paano natin turuan yung mga anak natin, right? But still, universal po, pang-universal po or pang-kalahatan po yung stages na ginawa ni Kohlberg. So, nagbigay po sila dito ng example. For example, yung stage 1 na bata sa culture 1 is pwede makipag-away kasi hindi ka mapapunishmentan. While yung stage 1 naman na bata sa culture 2 is bawal makipag-away kasi mapapunishmentan ka. So, kung iisipin po natin, itong both na bata is sumunod lang sila sa kung ano yung alam nilang tama. Right? So, ito po yung sinasabi natin na even though magkakaiba tayo ng beliefs or culture, same, still, pang-universal or pang-kalahatan yung stages na ginawa ni Kohlberg. Okay? So, that's all for my part. And thank you.